this council meeting, April 21st, 2026, to order. All council members are present. Would I ask you please rise? Pastor Chad Rowe is going to give us the invocation, followed by Patrick Wilson, the VFW 9191 commander, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Lord, we come to you in the name of Jesus, and we thank you for the leaders. We thank you for all the people in this great, wonderful community. Lord, we ask you for your wisdom and your guidance. Lord, for all of those that are here today, lead us and guide us for peaceful and wonderful time together in leading this great community to success and hope for all of those that live in this wonderful city. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. No.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Chad and Comrade Wilson. All right, we're gonna, before we begin, I ask for the council to approve the agenda. As you know, this is a polling station for early voting. The access through the voting area is only for the disabled and for, in case we have to leave here in an emergency. So if you have to depart, please exit through the doors on my left, your right, so that we stay in compliance. We can't have regular traffic moving through the polling area, although it's not an active voting location. All right. The council, you've seen the agenda. Can I get a motion? Mayor Pro Tem?
Mayor, I move to approve the agenda as presented.
It's been moved by Mayor Pro Tem Alvarez, Councilmember Solomon.
Second it.
Second by Councilmember Solomon. Any discussion? All in favor denote yes, all opposed no. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. All right. First item on the agenda, MN 26-013, consider minutes of regular city council meeting on March 24th, 2026. Next item, RS 26-054, consider a memorandum resolution accepting the dedication of 14.42 acres of land within the preserve at 1,000 Oaks Plant Unit Development as a public parkland. Mr. Murphy.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
distinguished council. Today we're here to talk about the acceptance of 14.42 acres for parkland dedication. On August 9th, 2022, the City Council approved an ordinance to rezone approximately 390 acres from agricultural district to planned unit development known as the Preserve at 1,000 Oaks. The developer is proposing to dedicate 14.42 acres of parkland with Phase 2 of the development. The proposed parkland aligns with the Clean Parks and Open Space Master Plan, specifically PS4, which aims to identify properties and develop 2 additional community parks in the southern areas of the city as growth continues. Additionally, it meets parkland dedication and development recommendations, as well as the linear park and trail growth objectives outlined in the master plan. The 14.4 acres of parkland dedication will include a playground, pavilion, picnic tables, a parking lot, open space, and an 8-foot wide concrete trail installed by the developer. The development also includes plans for additional parkland that will come to council for acceptance in subsequent phases of development. Here's an outline of where the park actually falls in the 1,000 Oaks Preserve. This is a capture of the 14.42 acres. Another just overall outline of how the trail will come and park will be developed in subsequent phases. Here's the playground that's been installed, and I must say it is beautiful, getting a lot of use. Just more images of the playground, walking bridge, walking trails, picture of the pavilion that will be installed. The developer has paid for the install of the playground and other park amenities. HOA will maintain the area under future MOA with an estimated annual cost of around $35,000. Funds will be available in the park's professional service account after the budget transfers are completed for the relevant park operational accounts. Staff recommends the council approve the acceptance of the 14.42 acres of parkland dedication for the Preserve at 1,000 Oaks Phase 2. And I will answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions, council? Councilmember Kendrick?
Hey, Mr. Murphy, with this being a HOA, everybody's still allowed to go in there and use the park?
Yes, sir. It will be a public use park. The standards that of upkeep, they wanted to keep it uniform with the HOA amenities, so that is why we chose to explore MOU with them to maintain the park as well.
And if I'm not mistaken, the original, when we were going through the architectural standards and the parkland dedication, they had originally proposed this as part of their PUD.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so there's a larger connection to this, and it's supposed to connect to the heritage, the trail that goes further southwest.
Yes,
southeast.
sir.
All right. Any other questions, Council?
No, I just, like you mentioned that, I just wanted to make sure the citizens understand they would still be able to use
Yes, sir.
that park area.
Mr. Solomon?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think that this is a great plus. You're talking 14-something acres, and it's great to have that. We need parks, and this is really good. Good
sir.
add-on for the city. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. No other questions, sir? All right. Moving to the next item is RS 26-055. Consider a memorandum resolution approving a maintenance support contract with Cooper Kraus Hines LLC to provide maintenance support for the airport lighting control system at Killeen Regional Airport in the amount of $265,850. Mr. Provost.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Before you is the maintenance support agreement with the contract with Cooper Kraus Hines. The airport utilizes an airport lighting control and monitoring system, also known as the ALCMS, which is essential for the safe and efficient airfield operations. As a part of the IGZA, the Aviation Department recently completed installation of the new updated system. Fort Hood has requested that we assume responsibility for the ongoing maintenance of the ALMCS under the IGZA agreement and in accordance with FAA Advisory Circular AC 150-5340-26 Bravo. Continued technical support is necessary to maintain the system reliability and minimize service interruptions throughout the system's life cycle. Cooper Kraus Hines provides maintenance with phone support, remote troubleshooting, and 2 annual on-site visits for diagnostic, calibration, and software updates. The contract includes regular cybersecurity compliance testing and security updates to meet the Department of Defense standards, along with annual testing per the FAA guidelines to verify proper operation and system performance. Overall, the contract provides comprehensive technical, operational, cybersecurity support to maintain the reliability and safety of the ALMCS system. And staff has negotiated a 5-year maintenance support contract with Cooper Kraus Hines in the amount of $265,850. This project will be funded through the IGZA agreement. And the recommendation is to approve the maintenance support contract with Cooper Hines Kraus in the amount of $265,850 and authorize the city manager designee to execute same as well as any and all changes, orders, supplement agreements within the amount set by state and local law. Pending any questions?
Any questions, Council? Thanks. I think these ICSAs are working in our favor, and I appreciate the work you guys are doing out in aviation.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Consider a RS 26-056. Consider a memorandum a resolution awarding bid number 26-18, traffic signal infrastructure upgrade to the Austin Traffic Signal Construction Company, LLC, in the amount of $646,001.50. Mr. Knoll.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Today we have before you is the span wire. The Transportation Division maintains 101 signal intersections, which 11 of them are span wire. 10 of these span wire intersections have components that are older than 30 years, requiring various parts. Vehicle detection cameras are required for the communication with the TMC, the Traffic Management Center. 4 of the span wire intersections upgrades are included in the 26 budget in the amount of $8,061,120. These are the 4 intersections that will be in this, that was part of this bid, is W.S. Young and Terrace, for Hood Street in West Jasper, for Hood Street in Hallmark Avenue, for Hood Street in 440 Plaza. As you see, there's two images on the bottom. Those are the intersection where when we talk about span wires, that's what it looks like. That's the ones we're talking about. A little bit of background. On January 26, 2026, bid number 26-18 traffic signal infrastructure upgrade was released for advertisement, including a mandatory pre-proposal meeting on February 11, 2026. Austin Traffic Signal Construction Company, LLC, was the only attendee. On February 25, 2026, purchasing received one proposal in response to the bid number 26-18, traffic signal infrastructure upgrade in the amount of $646,001.50. Austin Traffic Signal Construction Company, LLC. Recommendation is the City Council authorize and award the bid number 26-18 traffic signal infrastructure upgrade to Austin Traffic Signal Construction Company, LLC, in the amount of $646,001.50. I'm here if you have any questions.
Any questions, Councilmember Gonzalez?
Thank you. And just for clarity, are we, based on the scope of this, the infrastructure, does that include software as well as hardware and the communications, the actual physical structure as well, the lights?
Yes.
It does. Thank you.
One of the things I wanted to mention and ask, I know we had talked about this before, but does this allow us to go to a wireless system? Or is this wireless now?
Let me ask Mr. Quick. He's the manager of our transportation division.
What was the question again?
Are we wireless now? And if not, will this
So-
allow us to get there?
Right now, we're with our connectivity from the intersections to the TMC or through radios, and we are working to go cell modems to go wireless on all that.
Perfect, thank you. I'm sorry, I had one more question. Will this allow you to adjust the signals from the
TMC.
the TMC?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, that's even better.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep, no
If there's no other questions, Council, I appreciate your service.
All right, thank you.
Moving on, RS 26-057. Consider a memorandum resolution approving a contract with Simtech Live Fire Simulation Technology to build a fire tower training prop in the amount of $1,063,062.65. Deputy Chief Foster.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, honorable council members, Mr. City Manager. Thank you for the opportunity to stand in for Chief Kabinski. Pleased to be able to present to you our findings for the Fire Department Training Tower and recommendation to follow. Originally, it was part of the original Station 4 EOC Training Center plan as an ad alternate and was removed from the original budget to be included later due to rising costs to make sure that we were able to cover the build. The expenditure for the tower that we are considering now was approved in the fiscal year 26 budget at $1.102 million. Our current live fire training is being, and we'll have some pictures here in a minute, being conducted in 3 shipping containers that are welded together by firefighters working off duty more than 20 years ago. Our current tower at Condor Park is about 35 feet high, which in terms of what we need to do is not very high, and is unable to hold live fire training to the bricks not being fire rated. We've had to clean out waste before being able to use it due to squatters, and does not have safe elevated anchor points for safe rappelling. So as a result of that, our current technical rescue team members have to go out and use water towers for the high-angle rescue training, which is off-site. Doesn't provide as much control over safety, and we have to move the equipment, et cetera. The same happens for confined space. Our members have to find manholes and subterranean areas to do training throughout the city. And as you can see, on the left there is our current burn building, and on the right, our current tower, who was named for Olin Culberson. Our new facility specifications are summed up here. I'll give you the highlights. We were looking for a 30-year service life minimum with a construction of weather-resistant metal that is NFPA compliant and at least 45 feet in height, along with every other need that we could require to perform the necessary certifications and ongoing training for the fire department. Our first alternative considered was fire facilities. Came in the amount of $1.266 million before the co-op discount. That would include the building prefab, includes cost of on-site assembly, and includes the cost of the foundation. And that is a computer rendering of their proposed design. The next is WHP training towers. There came in at $1.023 million as an estimate, and that was November of '25, so may not be current. But they did not include the cost of the foundation in the estimate, and that came out to $1.220 million. And then Simtech, a modular container building specifically constructed for the purpose of fire training and elevation, came in at $1.063 million. That includes the building, the prefab, and the on-site assembly. Does not include the foundation or concrete, which costs are estimated to be $39,376 for a total of $1.102 million, $438.65. So for a side-by-side comparison, these didn't come in specified in a standard format, so we had to compare apples to apples. We put them all next to each other. And as you can see, fire facilities and WHP coming in at over 1.2 million, and Simtech at 1.1 million. The decision is to recommend Simtech, not based solely on the lowest quoted amount. This vendor was also able to provide the expected quality and all of the required features that were identified by the fire department training division build team. Fiscal impact, the total cost for the build, along with the co-op discount, is $1.063 million, $62.65. Future additional costs to be included. Again, we have to pour the concrete. We have a vendor that is on buy board, correction, not buy board, it is on co-op to do that concrete, and a third-party engineer, owner representative as required by state of Texas. That budgeted item is going to be happening through the engineering department and is approximately estimated to be $30,000. So staff recommends authorizing the city manager or his designee to execute the contract with Simtech Live Fire Simulation Technology, Sourcewell contract number 102325-SYM, in the amount of $1,063,062.65, and execute the purchase of the live fire training tower, and that the city manager or his designee is expressly authorized to execute any and all change orders within the amounts set by state and local law. And I'll be happy to entertain any questions if you have any.
Any questions, council? Can you go back to the comparison slide for me?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, I see now. The 39,000 is not in the, is at the end cost, but what we're paying Simtech, if we go with this, would be the top, okay.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Any other questions? There then. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is RS 26-058. Consider a memorandum resolution authorizing the execution of a 10-year agreement between the City of Killeen and Segra LLC to provide 2 strands of dark fiber to connect 15 city facilities to the city's network in the amount of $1,499,000. Mr. Resto.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The item for you tonight is to authorize approval of a 10-year fiber agreement with Segra. 2 of the representatives of Segras are here, Mr. Thomas Ansira and Mr. Aaron Ho, or Howe. I told him I would mess that up. He's also here. I'm going to give you a little background of Segra as a company. They were founded in 1897 and headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. They're one of the largest independent commercial fiber companies in the U.S. and they have a long history of putting customers at the heart of everything they do. They do local investment. This is a really plus. The people that they're going to be hiring will be local people, hiring local technicians, managers, and continually upgrading the network. They're a nationwide presence. The connectivity in 24 states, 45,000 fiber route, next generation infrastructure, IP, Ethernet, dark fiber architecture, and high performance data centers. A little history on this company. The city currently operates 15 facilities that are connected through a combination of Metro Ethernet lines, point-to-points, network solutions, which are aged and need replacement. While these services provide connectivity, the existing structure is fragmented and doesn't offer a unified fiber infrastructure connecting all the facilities directly to our network core. Segra is a regional fiber infrastructure provider specializing in high-capacity fiber networks, dedicated internet access, and customized enterprise connectivity. Based on Segra's existing footprint and technical expertise, this positions them to efficiently implement a unified fiber network connecting all the 15 facilities directly to the fiber network. They currently provide our 5G internet for the city, and they also are connecting Station 4. So we're already using their services. This map shows the different locations. So you will see at the purple parts are what we call the hubs. So when they're going to when they design this, we will have a ring to connect these 15 buildings, and so it's going to go in both directions. So if you have one that fails, it picks up on the other side. So this actually has a little redundancy built in it. But the facilities that we're doing, PD headquarters is a hub, the IT department is a hub. We're going to connect Fire Station 1, Fire Station 3, Fire Station 8, Fire Station 7, the water sewer complex, the soon-to-be Fire Station 5. We'll connect the current Fire Station 5 and then the new Fire Station 5, which will be under construction. The animal shelters in both locations will be on here. The branch library, the PD range, the transfer station, and the new fleet facility when it's there, and the new parks barn will also be connected via fiber. So that's what this map shows. And currently, the city annual connectivity expenses are as follows. Right now, we're paying for the 5G internet, the Fire Station 4, and the Metro E, which I normally come to council for the last few years, and we would renew the Metro E to connect the 5 facilities. Right now, Metro E is the animal shelter, the branch library, the transfer station, and then we have a point-to-point to the range, which gives them spotty connectivity, and I think you'll probably hear that from them. Station 8, IT, we have the 1 gig, and we separate that, and then the water sewer complex. The max speed that these guys get ranges from 200 meg to 450 meg, so not even at the speed that you're used to even at your home. So the fiber is going to give us that connectivity across our network now of a gig or a gig or higher to these new locations. So currently, we spend $102,732 on this current setup. With the proposed 10-year contract, we'll annual fiber costs $114,900 a year for the next 10 years, and a one-time construction cost of $350,000. Now, we have 2 CIP projects that were approved in this last year budget. One of them was running fiber out to the transfer station or fleet, and then the other one was another one that was for the water sewer complex. So that is what's going to be paying for these one-time construction costs and some equipment that goes along in these buildings, switches and network equipment that'll go in those. So in a sense, we're only going to be paying probably $2,000 something or more, and we're absorbing that in the IT budget in this coming up year. We're making reductions and additions to make sure that this is totally funded using the current IT budget. So the staff recommends that the city manager or designee be authorized to execute a 10-year agreement between the City of Killeen and Segra LLC in the amount of $1,499,000 using the TIPS contract 220105 and a one-time construction cost of $350,000, and that the city manager or the designee be expressly authorized to execute any and all change orders or supplemental agreement within these amounts set by state and local law. and we are available for any of your questions at this time.
Any questions, Council? All right, just wanted to confirm that this was part of a group by the TIPS. Can you explain that to the public?
It's a cooperative, I don't know exactly what the TIPS stands for, but it's a cooperative purchasing group that allows us to forego any of the bids and contracts because it's already been bidded and a contract.
Thank you. No other questions, sir? I appreciate it. RS 26-060, consider a memorandum resolution authorizing a master software agreement renewal with Civic Plus LLC in the amount of $424,404.82. What's the rest of it?
Mayor, council, so the item before you tonight is to authorize approval of the renewal of the master agreement contract with Civic Plus Software. I also have Executive Director Tori Bethany here to answer some of the questions as she runs most of the social media and the website. And then I also have EOC Director Sarah Williams here, who is going to be talking, if there are other questions on the Code Red or the mass communication portions of this agreement. So the city is seeking approval to renew the master service agreement with Civic Plus to consolidate several critical digital services. This consolidation approach reduces reliance on multiple vendors, improves system interoperability, enhance cybersecurity through centralized manage to better meet regulatory requirements and community expectations. The proposed Civic Plus platform are integrated into these solutions: SSL certificate management, website hosting, our social media archiving, C-Click-Fix, or we call it with the mobile app, AudioEye. An AudioEye handles our digital accessibility programs, and then mass notification Civic Alert. So staff recommends renewing a 3-year master software agreement with Civic Plus utilizing the TIPS contract number 220105 in the amount not to exceed $400,240.405, and that the city manager or designee be expressly authorized to execute any and all change orders within the amount set by state and local law. And we're here to answer any questions that you might have.
Councilmember Kendrick.
Can Ms. Tori come up? You've been doing a great job since you've been here. I want to tell you that. Can you explain to the citizens, without this service, how it affects how you put out information and the importance of what you do and the information that you put out?
Sure. So Civic Plus is basically the platform that we have our website on. So without this contract, we wouldn't have a website. That's one. The mass notification system right now, we use Code Red and email me or notify me. Without this particular contract, we're trying to go to mass notification. Recently, we did a statewide drill, which we definitely need to do more there. And so the mass notification system would help us with that because it integrates with iPause, which means that basically anyone within the city of Killeen would be able to actually receive those notifications. So that's that. AudioEye, as Mr. Resto talked about, as you all are familiar, we have ADA compliance that we have to do. That is a dashboard that it literally looks at all of those ADA issues with our website. So that's very helpful. And then the social media, I forget what it's called, let me see. The social media archiving, that's also part of a requirement that we have to do for FOIA, F-O-I-A, which basically is capturing of our content in the event that we happen to get any types of request. So without that, we wouldn't have any of that, which means that we probably would not also adhere to standards that we are legally required to do.
And I just wanted the citizens to understand that, especially when we did the sirens and all of that. That is important for if we do have to have an emergency, that everybody know that this information is being put out and everything. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, council? All right, Mr. Resto?
Yes.
I know SIGCOG, we voted to approve the new system that sits on, so will this
Yes.
work with that? Because I know Code
I
Red we're
will-
phasing out
I will
of.
let Sarah come up to talk about that.
Thanks.
She's been working on that piece.
And I know it's supposed to start being public sometime in July. So if you could also speak on the transition too.
Good afternoon. With what you were referencing with Central Texas COG is I don't know exactly how many years, but it's been quite some time. We've been part of their program to provide a notification system to all of the COG region utilizing the Homeland Security grant funds. And they were the ones who had actually purchased Code Red. We were users on their system. There have been issues with Code Red itself. The system has experienced some data breaches as well as significant downtime where it wasn't usable. And then there was also an issue recently with the suspension of receiving the Homeland Security grant funds. That spurred on the conversations about how do we make sure that we're more resilient and that we're able to talk to our citizenry and not be dependent on antiquated systems and on grant dollars to fund. So how this would work together is this would be our primary. We would still be able to be users on the COGS system and it could serve as a backup to us. But we would make sure that we are funding our own resilience and funding our ability to communicate with our residents and the folks who are visiting our city at any given time.
Thanks. And I think the system is called, the new one is Everbridge.
Everbridge, yes. And it's comparable, I believe that the name for the one with Civic Plus is called Connexus. They're all comparable and competitors to each other in the same market.
Okay. Thanks. No other questions? Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I just had a quick question. If we do reserve it as a backup, is there a cost associated with retaining that? Is it already built in? Yeah.
For the COG, to use the COG
Yes,
system?
ma'am.
No, there wouldn't be a cost directly to us. That would be funded through those Homeland Security dollars at the COG
Outstanding.
level.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I have made a mistake. Keep you up here, Mr. Resto. We can go back to RS 26-059. Consider a memorandum resolution authorizing the purchase of network equipment from GTS Technology Solutions in the amount of $478,233.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Council. The item before you tonight is authorize approval of the network equipment replacement. This is a budgeted item in IT fiscal 26 budget for our network equipment, and we also have some DIR site CIP money that we're using to fund this. The city currently operates about 146 network switches, 131 wireless access points across multiple facilities. A significant portion of this equipment has reached or is reaching end of life, end of sale, end of support in 2027. As vendor support expires, the city faces increased operational and cybersecurity risks due to limited access to firmware updates, security patches, and replacement parts. The city worked with Transversa, GTS engineering teams to conduct a comprehensive evaluation and develop a structured plan. We began this journey back in November of 25. So we've taken a lot of time to really evaluate this solution. So based on the technical evaluation, cost analysis, and support sustainability, Aruba was identified as a solution that aligns with the city operational and compliance requirements. The Aruba network equipment are quoted through the TIPS purchasing contract 230105 in the amount of $478,233. And staff recommends that the city manager or designee be authorized to execute the purchase of the network equipment replacement from GTS Technology Solution, a value-added reseller through the TIPS contract 230105 in the amount of $478,233. And myself and my assistant director, Nick, is here to answer any of your questions.
Okay. Any questions, council? Thank you. Thank you all for your presentation.
Thank you.
All right. Item 9, RS 26-061. Consider a memorandum resolution declaring a vacancy on the Arts Commission and appointing a new member to fill the vacancy. Ms. Tanglin.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor, council members. This item is for the Arts Commission vacancy. Some background, the City of Killeen has various citizen boards, commissions, and committees that serve in the advisory capacity. Appointed members are expected to attend the group's meeting regularly. Section 2118 of the Code of Ordinance outlines the procedure for removal of a member. In December 2025, the Arts Commission chairperson sent a letter to the city manager's office notifying staff that one of the commissioners had missed over 25% of the commission's meetings in a 12-month period and requested the city council declare the position vacant and assign a replacement to the position. The current member is Deborah Hawkut. The status is to be removed. She was a large member. And then the recommendations that the City Council declare a vacancy and appoint an individual to fill the vacancy of the Arts Commission. And I believe you guys have a list of the applicants.
Council, you see your list? Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I'd like to recommend Donna McPherson.
Donna McPherson has been recommended. Councilman Solomon.
I'd like to recommend Ashley Wetzer.
Ms. Ashley Russell has been recommended. Councilman Kendrick.
I'd like to recommend David Hobson.
And David Hobson has been recommended. All right, y'all not gonna make this easy, are you? We will, majority votes win. We can do the vote now, correct? We got 3 recommendations.
You can get a consensus now, or you can have a vote to include it, motion direction to include it in the item later that's voted on.
Gotcha. All right, so is there a consensus on, I'm gonna ask that question first. Anybody want to withdraw their nominee? No? Whew. So we do go ahead, Ms. Clements.
So otherwise, you can, you can move this from your consent agenda later and vote regularly, motion second, until we find somebody that has a majority that votes for them.
Because it's a workshop session, so council, without objection, we'll pull this from the consent agenda.
I'm looking at the occupations. If I had to narrow it down based on the Arts Commission and what it generally does, I could go with Ashley Rudster. I could support that nomination.
Okay.
Thank you.
Donna McPherson has been withdrawn. Nomination has been withdrawn. All right.
I'm good with Ashley Rutzer.
So is there a consensus with Ashley Rutzer now? Consensus is unanimous. If there's no consensus, then we will. All right, this item will be.
I'm sorry. Mr. Mayor, what was the person's name that Mr. Kendricks?
He recommended David Hobson.
Okay. I withdraw nomination.
Okay. We had 2, got it. So those that withdrew and expressed consensus for Ashley Rutzer, Councilmember Solomon is withdrawing Ms. Russler. Is your consensus with that name still the same, or you agree with the withdrawal? No. Still got 2 in support of Rutzler. So this item will be on the agenda for discussion in the regular session. Next item is that, thank you, Ms. Tangleman. Consider a memorandum resolution, RS 26-062, consider a memorandum resolution appointing new members to the Board of Adjustment. Ms. Mesher.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. This item is to consider appointments to the Board of Adjustment. You'll recall that on December 2nd, the council combined 4 separate boards into a single Board of Adjustment. The board consists of 9 regular members and 2 alternates. On January 6th, council appointed 9 regular members to the Board of Adjustment, but no alternates were appointed. Section 2-118 states that if a commission member misses 3 consecutive meetings, he or she is deemed excessively absent. As of the scheduled meeting this past Thursday, we now have 4 sitting board members who have been deemed excessively absent in accordance with the section I just cited. They are Justin Marin, Chetty Emile, Tracy Archer, and Jarrett Irby Holden. Additionally, Mr. Glenn Birmingham submitted his letter of resignation from the board on April 5th. We therefore have 5 regular members and 2 alternate members that need to be appointed or reappointed.
All right, so we have 6 seats, if I'm not mistaken.
I have a couple more slides. I apologize.
Oh.
This presentation is slightly different than the one that was included in
Okay.
your packet. We updated it following, we had a scheduled meeting that was supposed to happen this past Thursday. And as of that meeting, we had additional members who were excessively absent. So this presentation is slightly different than what's in your packet.
Thank you.
Section 3167 of our Code of Ordinances states that the Board of Adjustment shall be comprised of 4 members with training or experience in construction or building, 1 with aviation experience, 1 with fire suppression or fire prevention experience, and 3 at large. So what's left on the board, we currently have 4 members in good standing, Chet Southworth, Kadeem Speller, Philip Marley, and Ronald Blackman. Mr. Southworth has construction experience, Mr. Speller is an at-large, Mr. Marley has construction experience, and Mr. Blackman has fire prevention experience. We are therefore in need of 2 members with experience in the construction or building industry and 1 with aviation experience. We have 13 applicants on file for the Board of Adjustment. They're listed here on your screen. And with that, we're recommending that council declare 5 vacancies and appoint 6 citizens to the Board of Adjustment, including 4 regular members and 2 alternates. And the reason that there are 7 vacancies, but we're only recommending 6, is that we are recommending leaving 1 position vacant, as there are not enough applicants with construction experience to fill the remaining vacancy.
Okay. All right, council, what is your pleasure? We have 2, let's take care of the construction and aviation ones first. Is there nominations, 2 nominations for construction? Mayor Pro Tem Alvarez.
Out of the list that we have, I don't see anybody on here that says construction experience, unless I have a different list.
Can you, let's see.
Okay,
So the list that you have indicates that the occupation is safety, but our review of the application and the resume that was submitted indicates that Mr. Molina has some construction experience and that Mr. Threat has aviation experience.
So, yeah.
Threat.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I got you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So there's no issues. Council okay with those 2 appointments?
Yes.
Okay. Aviation,
That's the Soraya Threat.
so we're leaving 1 of the construction ones vacant? Is that
Yes,
what-
sir.
And council's okay with that? It was, okay. Next, we have 4 more to fill. Is that right? Make sure my math is.
That's right.
Mathing. All right. Council, what is your pleasure? Please chime in. Councilwoman Gonzalez.
I'd like to nominate Iperlita Lois, please.
Say that again.
Iperlita Lois.
Iperlita Lotus?
Lois. Mhm.
Okay.
And if I can clarify, is this a nomination for the 2 regular positions or the alternate?
Regular.
Okay. Is there any other nominations?
For regular, I had Misty Duran.
Misty Duran for regular.
And for alternate, I had Jennifer Knotts. I think you still need one more alternate.
Jennifer Knotts for alternate. Councilmember Kendrick.
I'd like to recommend as an alternate Vantonio Frawley.
Antonio Fraley as an alternate. Councilmember Solomon. All right, Patsy Bracy as an alternate or regular?
Regular. Is it, do we need the alternate or the regular?
We need, there's 2 alternate seats to fill and 2 regular seats. Is that correct?
4 regular and 2 alternate.
Thank you, 4 regular and 2 alternates. Thank you. So we have 3 regulars named. Ippolita Lotus, Misty Duran, and Patsy Bracy have been named regular. And we have 2 alternate seats to fill, and that's Jennifer Knotts and Vantonio Fraley for alternate. We need 1 more regular.
I'm sorry, maybe in my math thing, but I'm showing we only needed, so we have Melina for the construction, Threat for aviation, then we needed 2 regular members and 2 other alternates.
In addition to Melina and Threat, yes, I'm sorry.
So, but you've got 3 names for the 2 regular
And so it's
positions
2
right
and
now.
2. That's what I originally.
But you've got nominations for 3
Yeah.
and 2.
So we
So
only
you've
need
won
2,
over.
2 regular and 2 alternate. So we have, council, we have 3 names for regular. Ippolita Lotus, regular, Misty Durham, regular, and Patsy Bracy, regular.
Move one to alternate.
Then we have 2 alternate seats, Jennifer Knotts and Vantonio Fraley. So because unless someone pulls, this will go to taken off the consent agenda. No, seeing no, Councilwoman Gonzalez. You still wanted to speak? Councilmember Solomon, you still wanted to speak?
We have
3 regular nominees and 2 alternate.
we only need 2.
Correct.
And have we filled the alternate?
2 nominations for alternate.
Okay, but we need to subtract.
If we can, or we vote on this during the regular session.
Okay. Well, okay, we can just vote on the regular session.
All right. No action taken. We will consider this on regular session. Other than the nominees, Ippolita Lotus, Misty Duran, and Patsy Bracy for regular, Jennifer Knotts, Vantonio Fraley for alternate, and Mr. Molina and Mr. Threet for construction and aviation, leaving 1 vacancy under construction. All right. With that, residents, there's a construction vacancy that, please go on the website and fill out an application. So when you do your motion, when we do the consent agenda, we'll make sure that this is pulled as well. Ms. Messer, the next item.
Yes, sir, thank you. Okay, this item is for.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Consider memorandum resolution appointing board members to the Main Street Board. Ms. Messer.
Thank you. This item is for appointments to the Main Street Board. As you know, on March 24th, council voted to dissolve the Downtown Advisory Committee and establish a Main Street Board with 2-year terms. Our contract with the Texas Main Street Program requires the city to establish a Main Street Board to maintain program eligibility. Makeup of the board is as follows: 3 citizen members and 4 members from any of the following organizations: the Clean Arts Commission, the Heritage Preservation Board, Fort Hood, Downtown Merchants Association, Hispanic American Chamber of Commerce, Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce, and Greater Killeen Chamber of Commerce. Staff recommends establishing staggered terms to support continuity and align with Main Street best practices. We are therefore recommending initial appointments in 2 groups, with the 3 citizen members to be appointed for an initial term ending on October 1st of this year, and the 4 organizational members to be appointed for an initial term ending in October of '27. Main Street Best Practices recommend structuring board membership to support implementation of the 4-point approach. The 4 points are design, organization, promotion, and economic vitality. With that, our recommendation for the Main Street Board is as follows. Tony Ringgold as a citizen member, Josh Pemberton as a citizen member, Daniel Watkins as a citizen member, Ronnie Russell as an organization member representing the IBCC, Candice Cooper as an organization member representing the Downtown Merchants Association and the IBCC, Michelle Flores representing the Greater Clean Chamber of Commerce, and Dustin Evans representing the Greater Clean Chamber of Commerce. Ms. Ringgold previously served on the Downtown Advisory Committee. She's also a promotions professional, a downtown property and business owner. She's the owner of Space Create Studios, an IBCC member, and a member of the TERS Board. Mr. Pemberton is a downtown property and business owner and a promotions professional. Mr. Watkins is a downtown property and business owner and a design professional. Mr. Russell is president of the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce and an organization and economic vitality professional. Ms. Cooper is president of the Downtown Merchants Association, an IBCC member, previously served on the Downtown Advisory Committee. She's a downtown property and business owner, member of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and an organization and promotions professional. Michelle Flores is vice president of the Chamber, vice president of Chamber Services for the Chamber of Commerce and an organization and economic vitality professional. And Mr. Evans is a downtown property and business owner, member of the Chamber of Commerce, member of the Clean Public Policy Council, member of the Texas Craft Brewers Guild, and an organization and economic vitality professional. So with that, staff from the Texas Historical Commission are scheduled to be in Killeen on May 13th to provide in-person training for the new board members. And the First Lady of Texas will be in town on May 27th to celebrate our acceptance into the program. And the board will be integral to this event. So again, staff's recommendation is the council appoint these 7 members to the Main Street Board. Happy to answer any questions you have.
Councilmember Solomon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll make a motion that we accept the recommendation from the staff.
All right, that'll be it's been moved by Mr. Solomon that we accept these nominations. Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second that, Mayor.
All right, it's been seconded by the Mayor Pro Tem. This is all in favor for these nominations? Please make so by, is there any discussion? No discussion. All in favor of the nomination, please denote by yes or no. All right, nominations approved. This will be a final, for the residents, this will finally be approved during the regular session, either by consent agenda or regular discussion. Thank you, ma'am. That should be it, right? Okay. Main Street. All right, RS 26-064, consider a memorandum resolution approving the appointment of an executive director of Public Works. Ms. Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, council members. The item before you right now is the appointment of an executive director of Public Works. The executive director of Public Works experienced a vacancy as of October 1st of 2025. We began recruitment by posting the job on the city's website, TML's job board, and the SGR job board. We received 21 qualified applicants and interviewed 4 of those applicants. The city manager selected Ms. Christina Ramirez as the executive director of Public Works. Ms. Ramirez has more than 17 years of experience in public service, serving in the cities of Killeen and Harker Heights. Ms. Ramirez received her Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from the Texas A&M University. She is a Texas registered professional engineer and certified floodplain manager and became a certified public manager through Sam Houston State University in June of 2018. Staff recommends that the City Council approve the City Manager's appointment of Ms. Christina Ramirez as the City of Killeen's Executive Director of Public Works, effective June 15th of 2026. And I don't believe Ms. Ramirez is here this evening, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, council? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is RS 26-065. Consider a memorandum resolution approving the appointment of an interim city manager, Ms. Clements.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. So as background, Mr. Cagle, City Manager, announced his retirement effective May 29th, 2026. And April 7th, City Council gave staff a motion direction to provide a list of executive search firms for consideration for the recruitment of the next city manager. In the interim, an interim appointment can be considered until a new city manager is selected. And so what we have for your consideration tonight is a plan to appoint Ms. Wilson, Mr. Cagle, and Mr. Reynolds on consecutive dates to the interim city manager position. So that would be with Ms. Wilson serving as interim city manager from May 30th, 2026 to June 14th, 2026, and then also from June 20th, 2026 to June 28th, 2026. And then Mr. Cagle to serve as interim city manager from June 15th, 2026 to June 19th, 2026, and then from June 29th, 2026 until his agreement terminates. Just some information on the agreement. Because Mr. Cagle will have retired by the time his interim appointment would be effective, a temporary employment agreement is required. So the proposed agreement is for 20 weeks, which could be terminated early by either party or extended up to 25 weeks, which is 1,000 working hours. So then after that, with Mr. Jeffrey Reynolds serving as interim city manager upon termination of Mr. Cagle's interim city manager agreement until a permanent city manager is appointed. So a staff recommendation is to appoint an interim city manager until a permanent city manager is appointed and authorize a temporary employment agreement with Mr. Cagle as presented.
Thank you, council. Do you have any questions of Ms. Clements? All right. Thank you, ma'am. PH 26-015, hold a public hearing and consider an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2026 annual budget of the City of Killeen to increase revenue and expense accounts in multiple funds. You're not, Ms. Tangerlin.
No, Bonnie Hanchey, Budget Manager.
Thank you. Ma'am, you may proceed.
Thank you. The item before you tonight is the fiscal year 2026 budget amendment, mid-year. This amendment is brought forward in accordance with the city's financial governance policy and city charter, which authorize budget amendments by ordinance. The amendment primarily focuses on transferring excess fund balance above the 22% policy target into CIP funds. It also includes a limited number of routine adjustments, such as position reclassifications, grant-related updates, and accounting adjustments. The required public hearing notice was published on April 16th of 2026. Now I'll move into the specific fund level impacts, starting with the general fund. In the general fund, the amendment reflects one-time use of excess fund balance in line with City Council direction from March 24th. The total excess fund balance is $3,297,571. Of that, $2,603,899 is transferred to the governmental CIP fund, with the remaining amount retained in the general fund for economic development initiatives, abatements, facility repairs, and park improvements. The governmental CIP fund reflects the receipt and appropriation of the $2,603,899 transferred from the general fund. Of that amount, $600,000 is allocated to the downtown solar lighting project and $550,000 for the municipal court security upgrade. The remaining $1,453,899 is placed in contingency. Next are the special revenue funds. In the opioid settlement fund, this amendment recognizes $41,376 in revenue with corresponding program expenditures. These funds are planned for council consideration on June 16th. For the CDBG fund, this amendment includes two items totaling $61,563. First, it recognizes current year revenue with appropriation to allow for future reprogramming. Second, it includes a small adjustment to reconcile prior year activity with the U.S. Treasury system. Next, I'll move into the enterprise funds. In the golf course fund, $6,970 is being appropriated to replace a damaged structural column at the clubhouse. And in the aviation fund, $1,328,029 of excess fund balance above the 22% target is being transferred into the aviation CIP fund consistent with policy. Now I'll show you the fund that's receiving it. The Aviation CIP Fund reflects that transfer into the fund balance for future capital use. Aviation has two other funds. In the Aviation AIP Grant Fund, $178,750 in grant revenue, along with the associated construction expenditure, is being appropriated for a design-build agreement pursuant to Resolution 26-040. And in the Aviation CFC Fund, $18,000 is being appropriated for consulting services supporting airport development initiatives. The CO Fund. This item is an accounting alignment. The golf course renovation CIP project in the amount of $2,975,099 is being moved into its own fund from the fund it was originally appropriated in. This adjustment ensures proper fund classification and project tracking. This final slide summarizes the overall impact of the amendment across all fund categories. It reflects the combined effects of the CIP roll, the carry forward adjustment, and now this mid-year amendment. Staff recommends approval, and I'm available for any questions.
Any questions, council? No? Okay, thank you. All right, council, we have completed the work session for today. Would you wish to take a recess? All right, we'll push through. Oh, you said yes? Okay. We will stand at recess for 5 minutes. Time is now 4:17. We're gonna go back, meeting's called to order, back to order. I want to remind folks, if you have cell phones, please check and make sure that they are on silent or vibrate. If you can't do that, please turn them off and thanks. And if you have to take a call, please step outside. All right, we're gonna go and proceed with citizen comments. You have 3 minutes with 1 minute time allotted for city council to respond with a statement or explanation with engaging dialogue. All speakers, please remind that they must be on agenda items. Please consider the audience, and we shall now proceed. First is Ms. Candice Cooper.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Candice Cooper. Mr. Mayor, fellow council member, city manager. Of course, just coming up and speaking in reference to the appointments for the Main Street Board. Very excited about this new board. I know it kind of gets put out there that the dissolvement, like the full explanation of the dissolvement of the Downtown Advisory Committee. I was vice chair for that board. It was dissolved because we got the Main Street designation, and so it served its purpose, the goals were met, and so now with this Main Street designation, we get to further put forth the initiatives that you guys put into the comprehensive plan on moving downtown forward, moving the North Killeen corridor, which falls in line with the Rancier project, all the things that you're wanting for the growth of North Killeen. So we're super excited. I thought a couple more of my guys were going to be here, but on behalf of the Downtown Advisory Committee, the Downtown Merchants Association, we're very excited. Most of us on there, again, are stakeholders. We're property owners. We are owner-operated structures. And so those are the type of people you want on that board because we are invested, literally, life savings, invested into these properties. And so you'll have no stronger advocates than the people who want the area to grow because we need the area to grow. And so we'll be able to put on and assist the city in whatever it is as far as marketing, advocating. You know, we're supposed to be the welcoming committee for the events, for the area. When you see people, when you see happy people, like it inspires you to kind of figure out what's going on down there. And so a lot of times people speak very loudly about what they don't like about the city. But I think it is very important to speak on what you do love about the city and then be a part of the thing that helps that city go further and stronger. And so that's what this Main Street Board is going to do for the city of Killeen. It's going to show that the money you guys invested into, and between this council and the previous, I think this has been a thing for the last 3 council boards, it's going to show that the money is going where it needs to go. And this appointment actually shows that you guys are getting the fruit of the labor and the investment. So we're very excited to get this ball rolling. And again, it said the First Lady for Texas is going to be coming. So we're excited to be a part of that conversation, tapping into Texas grant resources, education projects, and again, showing that there is something to be happy, to be proud about, and it will, of course, encourage more economic development in the area. So I thank you guys again for going forward with those appointments. We're ready to get to work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your service on the Downtown Advisory Committee. All right, next person is Mr. Ronnie Russell. All right, I'll call it out 2 more times. Mr. Ronnie Russell, Mr. Ronnie Russell. All right, next person is Miss Melissa Brown.
Good evening. When I hear that the HOA wants to maintain the park and the parkland, and we're going to pay them for that, is that truly a dedication to the city? The concern then becomes, will it be able to be open to the public? If they're maintaining it as HOA property, can they at any point restrict it to only being for the members who live within that HOA? Because if that is the case, then that is what their dues are intended to pay for. This is item number 2, the parkland dedication. There is nothing in the agreement that says it is a complete agreement that says that the HOA will do the maintenance on this and that the city will pay them for it. So if that is to be the case, that needs to be included in the agreement along with some sort of guidelines, guardrails that say it will be maintained to the city standards, not to whatever happens within the HOA.
Can you pause real quick? I did ask if you have a cell phone that you silence it. If we pinpoint it, I am going to ask you to leave. Please, thank you.
So we would be paying extra for this above and beyond what we already pay for our park system that is currently 685 square feet. To add another 14 shouldn't add an additional 30,000 or 35,000 plus an annual elevator onto that cost. When it comes to the renewal with Civic Plus, are we currently paying for Code Red? I know she said it wouldn't be anything extra to have them as a backup, but are we currently paying for Code Red? And if we are not, then what is our current contract with Civic Plus? And what are the new or additional services that are being provided in this agreement? Because according to the presentation, it appears that we are adding some additional services that we'll be getting from them. the question becomes, is it worth the amount of money that we'd be paying extra if we are already able to do stuff like Code Red through SITCOG? That is part of that regional agreement, that is part of money coming out of Homeland Security funds, when we need to concentrate on preserving as much of our finances as possible. The overall idea for the Board of Adjustment consolidation, I know was a good idea at thought, but in practice, it has been a very poor decision. There is at least one case that has been waiting 6 months because they need 7 members for a supermajority, and they have yet to be able to fulfill that. And then just very quickly, when it comes to an interim city manager, we only need 1. We don't need 3. There needs to be consistency. And according to the presentation, the only consistency would be that Mr. Reynolds is available throughout the duration to be that interim person. Why spend an extra $120,000 a year on a person who already said he's done with our city, doesn't want to be here anymore, and is going to be collecting a pension? The fiscally responsible thing to do and the best thing for consistency and stability for our city is to have that one person, have them be here the whole time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. The question on the HOA, do we have Mr. Murphy? I think there was a question about retaining the property and the restricted use. I know you addressed that already, and then doing the maintenance.
Yes, sir. The property, the park is not a restricted, it would be a city park. And doing the analysis of what it would take to add the additional staff to be able to maintain that, because we operate a very skeletal crew, we're not able to add the additional manpower hours that are needed to maintain it. It is actually cheaper to enter into that MOU and maintain it to the standard. We have negotiated the standards by which we use the criteria to maintain our current parks, and upon assessment, what the HOA is proposing or what they will be maintaining is a standard that's a little bit greater than what we do currently. They would ensure routine maintenance cuts, trimming of trees, the things that we may have to scale back to every 6 weeks. They're gonna do it a lot more frequently, so that makes that a more viable option because we are actually saving the city money.
Thank you, sir. Now, either Mr. Resto or Ms. What is the, yeah. Well, on a Code Red question, that is being phased out across the region. The new system is coming in, and we're a part of the group. Ms. Resto, if you can answer the question regarding the new services provided and. Oh, that's the next one.
So staff, when we looked at the Code Red, and obviously at the time we were going through this, COG did not have a clear path. So Evergreen was their side. Did we pay for that? Did we pay for the participation? No. But we also don't have any control of what happens when Code Red. We're just users in their account. That was one of the other motivations of why we decided to go with our own, because we can do our own texting to our own region of the city of Killeen. It has a lot of features in it that are specifically used for emergency management staff. As far as looking at what we add, that is what we're actually adding. But we're also taking away. So we have civic alerts. So civic alert goes away. This is also kind of part of that. So we're adding and removing, but we're adding the additional costs for this additional civic send portion of it. One of the things that is added into this is the social archiving. Social archiving was its actual own company. Civic Plus bought them. So that's what their master agreement is doing, is bringing that contract in along with this contract. Last year, the last 3 years, we're paying somewhere between $353,000 for a 3-year contract. So we've increased this one by that, but we also have that in our budget. We made the budget adjustments in the 25-26 budget to accommodate this as we were forward thinking of making these changes and working with Tori and working with Sarah. Those were decisions that we were making to make sure that we're aligned on what we need to do. Social archiving also had to increase a little bit because we do a lot of kudos for the communication team. They do a lot of posting now, and all those postings have to be archived. So we actually have to pay a small fee for everything to make sure we archive everything so that we are FOIA open records compliant. And I hope I've answered your questions. Sarah is also here to talk about some of the code red if you need more. She knows
Yes,
a little bit
ma'am.
more about that than I do.
Yeah, so we can get that clarified. There's no other request on this agenda item, so we can close it out with you.
Could you let me know what exactly was it you
I
needed
think
clarification?
whatever other services that are provided different from.
So
what
we,
have.
like Mr. Resto said, we're currently users underneath the COGS license. So how they wrote the grant project is that they have the individual jurisdictions that are users listed in that grant project as those who would be eligible to use that system. But like he also mentioned, we aren't the license owner, so there are sometimes delays in getting customer service issues rectified. Sometimes we've had issues with even being able to log into the system. Now, as they move towards Everbridge, that dynamic will likely change because it's a different company and a different way of doing things within that company. However, by doing this with Civic Plus and adding Connexus, that functionality onto Civic Plus, it allows us to integrate our notification processes in with everything else we use it for. So tying it into our website, tying it into our social media presences so that we have a global way to reach our population during a crisis instead of having multiple systems in different places.
Thank you. And I'll add that I'm aware that other cities that are members of other council of governments that are the centerpieces of those council of governments also have a second similar service on top of what their COGS have. So, thank you.
And I do want to emphasize, Sarah did hit a point. In this case, we can send a message to all our media with one tool.
Yeah.
That's really key. So the communication team has something to send out. They just do it through the new system, and it will go to every system that we have with one message, rather than Tori having to log into to this and to that and to this and to that, the same message. So that is one of the pluses that we get from it as well. And Tori may have some other things. We're going to dance.
And I do have more that I want to add. It's also part of the Civic Plus Master Agreement renewal, so everyone should have access to this. But one of the cool things about mass notification system with our current system is that we're able to actually do geo-targeting. So that's basically anyone who was for real within our city, we're actually able to reach them with a notification in times of an emergency or a crisis. Our current system, you have to register to sign up. This is different. So that is a huge plus as to why we're getting this system. And then it also integrates with IPAWS and NOAA, which is also very crucial in times of emergencies, which our current system, it does not do. So we're getting a lot more added benefit to it than the current system that we share with SICOG.
Thank you. Councilman McKenzie, you got something back to add?
Well, I don't have a question for Tori, but this is what Tori just said, because we always have a lot of people that like to turn off notifications. This way, you can't turn it off, and you're going to get the information. That's basically what she's saying right now. You can't just turn it off. You're going to get the information. So thank you for that, Tori.
Thank you. All right, next person, Ms. Sue Nisi Croft.
Pull this up because I can't see it. Okay, good evening, Mayor and Council. I want to begin by acknowledging the structure of the interim city manager plan being proposed. What I see is a phased approach that balances continuity into institutional knowledge and forward leadership, and that reflects the importance of maintaining stability during a time of transition. That is something I've consistently emphasized because how we manage transition directly impacts how the city functions day to day. At the same time, this moment highlights something equally important, not just about leadership, is assigned, but how information flows to support those decisions. In previous discussions, I introduced the concept of a quality of life committee, not as a replacement for public comment, but as a way to strengthen how community input is brought forward earlier in the process. Because what we often see is residents responding after concerns have already reached a point of frustration. What I'm proposing is a structured approach
Ms.
where
Carr,
current.
The agenda item is
This
about
is the agenda
interim-
item, and it goes along with what the previous, my previous statement from
on
the last.
On the interim city manager appointment?
Yes.
Okay.
My previous statement at the
I'll
last
allow you
part.
to proceed, but I need you to bring it back. for that.
Okay. The type of structure becomes even more valuable during transitions like this, where multiple leaders are stepping into roles and making decisions that affect the daily experience of our residents. Because ultimately, this is not just about continuity of leadership, it's about continuity of trust. And trust is built when people feel heard, not just at the end of the process, but throughout it. And I say this because the last time I didn't want to be perceived as being pushy and saying I wanted organizational stability and all that other stuff in what I said last time. So I'm coming to say you all did a good job in how you designed this. And I appreciate it. It meets all my previous statements that I made at the last session. And thank you. And I know it was hard. And I appreciate you taking my voice, a citizen's voice, in consideration when you put this together. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Michael Fanino.
It should come as no surprise to anybody that I strongly object to Mr. Cagle's involvement on any level for any length of time past his retirement date. That's a lack of planning on his part. If he's going to throw the city into this transitional uproar, he should have planned his retirement, announced it, his intentions, rather than 2 hours after he had a bad shellacking at a council meeting not so long ago. Forget the fact that I've led people in combat. Forget the fact that I've read Dr. Deming, Dr. Soul, Patton, Lombardi, anything to do with leadership and management. I may not be able to speak to budget very well, and I've freely and openly admitted that to you all in the past. However, to think that this man walks on water and we can't get along and we can't breathe without him, that's a slap in the face, in my opinion, from a management standpoint. That says that no other city employee is competent enough to step up and fill the gap. That just doesn't compute. If he had been managing the people and the schedule and his time as a manager, he would have prepared his people. Rule 1 in the military, largely my background across 2 services. You train your replacement. Especially when I first served with the fleet in the United States Submarine Force, we cross-trained the hell out of each other. I knew how to do the guy's job next to me and vice versa, frontwards, backwards, upside down. So in the case of the sudden loss or unavailability of a crew member or anything like that, crew, team, okay? I've played the game, the stakes were not dollars and cents, we're talking life and death. So I can speak with a level of expertise few in this room actually do have, undisputable. The fact that we have 2 very competent assistant city managers and a whole host of support staff below them. The man doesn't walk on water. He's not raising the dead. He should retire when he said he retired. This tendency of people to hang on after they've quit, resigned, retired, whatever in the city has got to go. It does nothing for the dynamics of the city, period. Doctors have a term for that. I believe it's called relapse. If you put in your time, be as good as your word. Once again, this man is proving everything I said. He's not as good as his word. He puts his name to a piece of paper and says, I resign, I'm retiring, whatever phrase you want to use or however we're massaging it for the press to make the public feel good about the transition. He put his name to a piece of paper, just like when he signed on for the job, he signed off the job. Anybody considering keeping him on? I'd like to help you out with that idea. Just show me what door you came in with that idea.
Thank you, everyone. There's no, all right. That concludes citizen comments. We will now proceed with the regular session. Council is reminded to speak 3 minutes, 3 times each. The consent agenda, MN 26-013, consider minutes of regular city council meeting of March 25th, 2026. RS 26-054, consider a memorandum resolution accepting the dedication of 14.42 acres of land within the preserve at 1,000 Oaks Plant Unit Development as public parkland. RS 26-055, consider a memorandum resolution approving a maintenance support contract with Cooper Kraus Hines LLC to provide maintenance support for the airport lighting control system at Killeen Regional Airport in the amount of $265,850. RS 26-056, consider a memorandum resolution awarding bid number 26-18 traffic signal infrastructure upgrade to the Austin Traffic Signal Construction Company, LLC, in the amount of $646,001.50. RS 26-057, consider a memorandum resolution approving a contract with Simtech Live Fire Simulation Technology to build a fire tower training prop in the amount of $1,063,062.65. RS 26-058, consider a memorandum resolution authorizing the execution of a 10-year agreement between the City of Killeen and Segra LLC to provide 2 strands of dark fiber to connect 15 city facilities to the city's network in the amount of $1,499,000. RS 26-059, consider a memorandum resolution authorizing the purchase of network equipment from GTS Technology Solutions in the amount of $478,233. RS 26-060, consider a memorandum resolution authorizing a master software agreement renewal with Civic Plus LLC in the amount of $424,404.82. RS 26-063, consider a memorandum resolution appointing board members to the Main Street Board. RS 26-064, consider a memorandum resolution approving the appointment of an executive director of Public Works. RS 26-065, consider a memorandum resolution approving the appointment of an interim city manager. With that, council, before you do your motion, please note that I did pull the 2 items that we did not meet a consensus on, and also to announce that Ms. Ramirez is present if you wanted any questions. I need you to say something. Mr. Albert, Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor, I was going to move to approve the consent agenda, removing items number 10 and 9, as you stated, but I also wanted to give the opportunity for our new Executive Director of Public Works to say a few words.
Okay. So what we'll do prior to the motion, we'll let her, since I just read it back into this record. Ms. Ramirez, can you come forward, please? Okay, yeah, I was gonna have him bring it back up. Gotcha. Thank you, ma'am, and welcome. The council may have some questions for you as you've been nominated to fill the vacant Public Works position, correct? Executive Director of Public Works. Ms. Gonzalez, Councilwoman Gonzalez.
So thank you so much for your consideration and for applying for this position. We welcome you. As an executive director in this particular department per se. I have this department on speed dial, and so there's a lot that comes with it. And I was just curious, we'd love to hear from you about, why you chose us, but could you also just let our citizens know about your management style and how you'll be readily available to them as some of our directors have in the past?
Absolutely. So thank you, Mayor and Council, for having me here this evening and giving me the opportunity to speak with you. Some of you may know that I actually began in operations behind an asphalt machine during the summers when it was hot, and I hold public works operations very close to my heart. I am also on the national board for the American Public Works Association. So educating and looking at the advancement of public works, whether it's training of our staff, the cross-training, the development, so that they can move up within the organization as well as interact with the public and tell their story about what it is that they're doing. That's something that I hold dear. I also have taught since 2014 with the Public Works Institute of Texas. And so I feel that it's very important to make sure that our staff knows that they are important, what they're doing is important, and that we provide that quality of service to our residents. And part of that quality of service is making sure that we're responding. Most recently, I was interviewed, and one of the things that I like to do is I do check my emails late. I tend to be that non-traditional, not 8 to 5. I am available. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know that I need to do the research or I need to ask somebody who's been on the ground if I haven't been there myself yet. And so I do plan to carry that forward.
Thank you. I appreciate all of our departments, but this one's so public-facing, and they've done a tremendous job within the community as far as building those relationships. So I appreciate you and welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah. Oh, sorry, Carter.
I just want to say welcome back to Team Colleen. I had the honor and privilege of working for Christina during my tenure here with the city of Killeen. She was always an outstanding boss, a great supervisor, and a wealth of knowledge for the city of Killeen. So I'm proud to have you back here at Team Killeen, and I look forward to all that you're going to help us accomplish.
Thank you.
And I won't say that I won't smile hard in our peers' faces to the east of us, but pending the approval of the consent agenda, I want to welcome you to the city of Killeen. With that, Council, thank you, ma'am. What is your pleasure? Council Mayor Pro Tem?
Restate the motion. I move to approve the consent agenda, removing items number 9 and 10.
Councilman Solomon.
I second that.
It's been moved by Mayor Pro Tem Alvarez and seconded by Councilman Solomon to approve the consent agenda as read. Any discussion? All in favor denote yes. All opposed, no. All right, consent agenda approved. Motion carried. Thank you. All right, moving to the next item. Public hearing.
Want to go back to 26.061 and 062?
Thank you, I was rushing. We're going to go back to items RS 26-061. Consider a memorandum resolution declaring a vacancy on the Arts Commission and appointing a new member to fill the vacation. So in this discussion, we're going to both declare vacancy, and then we had, my documents disappeared. We had two people named, Miss Arlie. Stuff got moved, I'm sorry, folks. We had two people named Mr. Hobson and Miss Ashley Rusted. Thank you. I think you got my papers.
No, that's
So council, what is your pleasure? Councilmember Alvarez. Excuse me, Mayor Pro Tem Alvarez.
I would move to appoint Ashley Rutzer to the Arts Commission.
Ms. Mayor Pro Tem Alvarez moved to appoint Ashley Rutzer to the Arts Commission. Councilmember Gonzalez.
I second that.
It's been seconded by Councilmember Gonzalez. Any discussion? Seeing here none, all in favor on the appointment of Councilman Ashley Rutzer to the Arts Commission, please denote yes. All opposed, no. Motion carries 3-1. All right, the next item is, we had a few names to fill the construction seat. Thank you. We had the two, Mr. Molina and Mr. Threet, to fill the construction and aviation seats. And then we have three names for the regular seat, Miss Misty Dunn, Miss Patsy Bracy, excuse me, and Miss Ippolita Lotz. And then two alternates, Mr. Vantonio Frelly and Miss Jennifer Knotts. We have 2 seats each for both of those. So if I understand that with the 2 alternates, or what, Council, what is your pleasure? The floor is open. I don't want to assume anything. So the 3 names for regular that was listed was Misty Dunn, Patsy Bracy, and Ippolita Lotz. And then the 2 alternates were Vantonio Frelly and Jennifer Knotts. We had 2 alternate seats and 2 regular seats. Councilman Kendrick.
I would like to withdraw my my nominee, how you say that, Vantonio Frelly.
All right, Vantonio Frelly has been withdrawn. All right, so that leaves 4 individuals. One needs to be designated alternate with 3, and we have 3 regular. I need you to go ahead. Okay, now it works. Ms. Gonzalez, Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Thank you. So just to confirm, we have currently still 3 regular. I believe, and just confirm if I'm incorrect, but I believe that the other nomination for regular was, we had Misty, Miss Bracy, and Ippolita.
Yes.
And then for alternate, we now only have Jennifer Knotts.
Correct.
My recommendation would be to continue to keep Miss Patsy Bracy as alternate.
Okay,
And then that should give us the 2 and 2, is that correct?
that is correct. I need a motion.
I would like to make a motion to assign the regular positions for the Board of Adjustments to Ippolita Lois, regular, Misty Dunn, regular, Patsy Bracy, alternate, Jennifer Knotts, alternate, and our officials, Zaria Treat for aviation and Lamar Molina for fire prevention code.
Okay, Council, you heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second that motion.
Mayor Pro Tem Alvarez seconds the motion. Is there any discussion on these nominations? Any discussion? All in favor, denote yes. All opposed, no. All right, motion carried. Thank you, Council. All right. Next, we have public hearing PH 26-015. Hold a public hearing and consider an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2026 annual budget of the City of Killeen to increase revenue and expense accounts in multiple funds. The Secretary will read the caption of the ordinance.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Killeen, Texas, amending the FY 2026 annual budget of the City of Killeen to increase revenue and expense accounts in multiple funds, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance, providing a savings clause, establishing an effective date.
All right. Council, you heard the presentation. You've seen the presentation. Do we need to see it again? Okay. Ms. Tang, just be, and Ms. Hanchey, can you be on standby? The public hearing, we'll now open the public hearing. We have one applicant, Ms. Melissa Brown.
The biggest problem that I have with this is going to put KEDC back to well over $1 million in funding with no measurable reason for an increase other than they bought more land and said they need money to pay the note. That means that we are essentially rewarding an irresponsible decision if they can't pay the note with the money that they're currently getting. What will this mean for the FY27 budget then? If they need this in order to pay a note for land that they purchased and we don't give them the increased money in 2027, are they going to be able to keep up with their bills at that point? Is KED going to expect this year after year after year now? Or is this understood that it is a one-time bonus? Because for this money, we could hire 3 or 4 grant writers. The FY22 directive from the City Council by a unanimous vote was to hire a grant writer. But Mr. Cagle has repeatedly said, we don't have money in the budget for it. I just found $215,000 in the budget. IBCC was cut back to only $50,000 in support with more consistent and documented results. So if anything, shouldn't they get a larger cut? They're actually bringing in the businesses, they're helping them grow, they're helping them expand, they're bringing in the employees. Or we could also take $200,000 and employ that to employee health care so that we're not having to increase their premiums and their deductibles again. We could apply it to mental health care, not just for our first responders, but for all of our employees. Do you think that there is an employee who works for the City of Killeen that couldn't use some counseling services from time to time? I know that as a council member, I could have told you, even as council members, we could use those counseling services from time to time. I would go ahead and add that everybody has access to this document. It's on the city's website. It was provided to the council. Apologies. It was provided to the council. But this is from the FY26 proposed budget, and these are all of our unfunded decision packages across the city. About 90% of them are less than $200,000 apiece. You could go through this and pick 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even up to 10 different items that were unfunded in the FY26 budget that could be funded with $200,000. The question is, are we really getting a return on our investment? And how quickly is that happening? Because when we invest into our city staff, we get that return immediately, not waiting 7, 8, 10 years, not having to reassess and reimagine what Anthem Park is going to be, not having to reassess or potentially reimagine what Wolf Park is going to be, because Wolf Park no longer advertises data centers, and think that we were going to be able to put data centers there anyway. Let's spend our money more wisely. Let's put it where it needs to be put, and let's put our citizens and our employees first.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. That concludes the public hearing. Public hearing is closed. Council, what is your pleasure? Oh, Mayor Pro Tem Alvarez, been sneaking in there.
Mayor, I move to approve PH 26-015 as presented.
Mayor Pro Tem moved to approve PH 26-015 as presented. Is there a second? Councilmember Kendrick.
A second.
Councilmember Kendrick seconds the motion. Is there any discussion to the motion? All in favor, please denote yes. All opposed, no. Motion carries. PH 26-015 approved. Council, that concludes the business for the day. What is your pleasure?
Move to adjourn.
The Mayor Pro Tem moves to adjourn. Is there a second? Councilmember Solomon. All right, council, we are adjourned.